Hello, it is January 24th, and we are going to read Genesis 48 1 through 49:33, and Matthew 15:29 through 16:12, Psalms 21 through 9, and Proverbs 4:20 through 27. And like every day, we are going to do the Lord's Prayer before we get started. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So we are going to get started. It is January 24th. We are going to read Genesis 48 1 through 49:33. So where the story left off was uh, Jacob brought his father. Hang on a second. I had it here in my notes. Let me go back and look at it. Yes. Joseph had his father Jacob and his family come to Egypt to meet the Pharaoh. And his father is about to pass away. And that's about where the story leaves off. So here we go Genesis 48 1 through 49:33. Sometime after this conversation, Joseph was told, "Your father is ill." He took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, and went to Jacob. When Jacob was told, "Your son Joseph has come," he rounded himself and sat up in the bed. Jacob said to Joseph, "The strong man appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me. He said, 'I'm going to make you prosperous and numerous, turn you into a congregation of tribes, and I'll turn this land over to you, to your children coming after you as a permanent inheritance. I'm adopting your two sons who were born to you here in Egypt before I joined you. They have equal status with Reuben and Simeon. But any children born after them are yours. They will come after their brothers in matters of inheritance. I want it this way because, as I was returning from Padan, your mother Rachel, to my deep sorrow, died, and we were on our way through Canaan. When we were only a short distance from Ephrath, now called Bethlehem, that's crazy. Joseph told his father, 'There are many sons who God gave me in this place. Bring them to me,' he said, 'so I can bless them.' Israel's eyesight was poor from old age. He was nearly blind. So Joseph brought them close. Only Israel kissed and embraced them. And they said to Joseph, 'I never expected to see your face again, and now God has let me see your children as well.' Joseph took them from Israel's knees and bowed respectfully, his face to the ground. Then Joseph took the two boys, Ephraim with his right hand, setting, setting him to Israel's left, and Manasseh with his left hand, setting him to Israel's right, and stood them before him. But Israel crossed his arms and put his right hand on the head of Ephraim, who was the younger, and his left hand on the head of Manasseh, the firstborn. Then he blessed them. The God before who walked with my fathers, Abraham and Isaac, the God who had been my shepherd all my life long, to this very day, the angel who delivered me from every evil, bless the boys. My name be echoed in their lives and the names of Abraham and Isaac, my fathers. And may they grow, covering the earth with their children." When Joseph saw that his father had placed his right hand on Ephraim's head, he thought he had made a mistake. So he took his father's hand to move it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. "That's the wrong head, father. The other one is the firstborn. Place your right hand on his head." But his father wouldn't do it. He said, "I know, my son, but I know what I'm doing. He also will develop into a people, and he also will be great. But his younger brother will be even greater than his descendants will in rich nations." Then he blessed them both. "Israel will use your names to give blessings. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh." I know I'm not saying those names right, so bear with me. In that, he made it explicit that he put Ephraim ahead of Manasseh. Israel said to Joseph, "I'm about to die. God be with you and give you safe passage and back to the land of your fathers. As for me, I'm presenting you as the first among your brothers. The ridge of land I took from Amorites with my sword and bow." Jacob called his sons and said, "Gather around. I want to tell you what you can expect in the days to come." Come together, listen, sons of Jacob, listen to Israel your father. Reuben, you're my firstborn, my strength, first proof of my manhood. At the top in honor and at the top in power, but like a bucket of water spilled, you'll be at the top no more. Because you climbed into your father's marriage bed, mounting that couch, and you defiled it. Simeon and Levi are two of a kind, ready to fight at the drop of a hat. I don't want anything to do with their vendettas, want no part in their bitter feuds. They kill men in fits of temper, slash oxen on a whim, and curse on their uncontrolled anger, on their discriminate wrath. I'll throw them out with the trash. I'll shed and scatter them like confetti through Israel. You, Judah, your brothers will praise you, your fingers on your enemy's throat, while your brothers honor you. You're a lion's cub, Judah, home fresh from the kill, my son. Look at him, crouched like a lion, king of beasts. Who dares mess with him? The scepter shall not leave Judah. He'll keep a firm grip on the command staff until the ultimate ruler comes and the nations obey him. He'll tie up his donkey on the grapevine, his purebred prize to a sturdy branch. He will wash his shirt in wine and his cloak in the blood of grapes. His eyes will be darker than wine, his teeth whiter than milk. Zebulun settles down on the seashore. He's a safe harbor for ships, right alongside Sidon, excuse me. As a car, as a car is one tough donkey crouching between the corals. When he saw how good when he saw how good the place was, how pleasant the country, he gave up his freedom and went to work as a slave. Dan will handle matters of justice for his people. He will hold his own just fine among the tribes of Israel. Dan is only a small snake in the grass, a lethal serpent in ambush, but the road when he strikes a horse in the heel and brings its huge rider crashing down. I wait in hope for your salvation, God. Gad will be attacked by bandits, but he will trip them up. Asher will become famous for rich foods. Candies and sweets fit for the king. Naphtali is a deer runner free that gives birth to lovely fawns. Joseph is a wild donkey by a spring spirited donkey on a hill. The archers with malice attacked, shooting their hate tipped arrows. But he held steady under fire, his bow firm, his arms limber, with the backing of the champion of Jacob. The shepherd, the rock of Israel, the God of your father, may he help you. And may the strong God, may he give you his blessings. Blessings tumbling out of the skies, blessings bursting up from the earth, blessings of beasts and womb. May the blessings of your father exceed the blessings of ancient mountains, surpass the delights of eternal hills. May the rest of the head of Joseph on the brow of one of the consecrated among his brothers. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. All morning he gorges on his kill. At evening divides up what's left over. All these are the tribes of Israel. Excuse me. All these are the tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes, and this is what their father said to them, and he blessed them, blessing each one of you his own special farewell. Blessing then he instructed them, I am about to be gathered to my people. Bury me, my fathers in the cave which is in the field of Ephron, the Hittite, the cave in the field of Machpelah, facing Mamre in the land of Canaan, the field Abraham bought from Ephron the Hittite for a burial plot. Abraham and his wife Sarah were buried there. Isaac and his wife Rebekah were buried there. I also buried Leah there. The field and the cave were bought from the Hittites. Jacob finished instructing his sons, pulled his feet to the bed, breathed his last breath, and gathered to his people. So the breakdown of Genesis 48:1 through 49:33. Jacob is at the end of his life, but he's finished strong. He blesses Joseph's sons, intentionally crossing his hands, showing God's blessing doesn't always follow human order. Then he speaks prophetic words over all his sons, some blessings, some warnings. The takeaway: how you live eventually speaks to you. How you live eventually speaks to you. The character outlives strength. The legacy is shaped by obedience and position. Matthew 15:29 through 16:12. After Jesus returned, he walked along Lake Galilee and then climbed a mountain and took his place, ready to receive visitors. They came, tons of them, bringing along the paraplegic, the blind, and the maimed, the mute, all sorts of people in need, and more or less threw them down on Jesus' feet to see what he would do with them. He healed them. When the people saw the mute speaking, the maimed healthy, and the paraplegics walk around, blind looking around, they were astonished and let everyone know that God was blazingly alive among them. But Jesus wasn't finished with them. He called his disciples and said, I hurt for these people. For 3 days now they've been with me, and now they have nothing to eat. I can't send them away without a meal. They probably collapse on the road. His disciples said, But where is this deserted place? Are you going to dig up enough food for a meal? Jesus asked, How much bread do we have? 7 loaves, they said, plus a few fish. At that, Jesus directed the people to sit down. He took the 7 loaves and the fish, and after giving thanks, he divided it up and gave it to the people. Everyone ate. They had all they wanted. It took 7 large baskets to collect the leftovers. Over 4,000 people ate their fill at the meal, and Jesus sent them away. He climbed in the boat and crossed over to the Magadan Hills. Okay, 7 loaves and a couple of fish and fed 4,000 people. Y'all, that's just crazy. Some Pharisees, it's a great story too. Some Pharisees and Sadducees had gathered him again, pressing him to prove himself to them. He told them, you have a saying that goes, red sky at night, sailors delight. Red sky at morning, sailors take warning. You find it easy enough to forecast the weather. Why can't you read the signs of the times? An evil and wanton generation is always wanting signs and wonders. The only sign you'll get is the Jonah sign. Then he spun around and walked away. On their on their way to the other side of the lake, the disciples discovered they had forgotten to bring along bread. In the meantime, Jesus said to them, Keep a sharp eye out for the Pharisee Sadducee yeast. Thinking he was scolding them for forgetting bread, they discussed in whimpers what to do. Jesus knew what they were doing and said, Why are all the worried whispers about forgetting the bread? Baby believers, haven't you caught one yet? Don't you remember the 5 loaves of bread and the 5,000 people, and how many baskets of fragments you picked up? Or the 7 loaves that fed 4,000? And how many baskets of leftovers you collected? Haven't you realized yet the bread isn't the problem? The problem is yeast. Pharisee and Sadducee yeast. Then then they got in, and he wasn't concerned about eating, but teaching the Pharisee Sadducee kind of teaching. Okay, that's a little deep. Let's figure out what that means. The breakdown says Jesus feeds the crowds again and heals many. Compassion in action. Then he warns the disciples about the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees, bad teaching, hypocrisy, and unbelief. They think he's talking about bread, but he's talking about mindset. What are the two things, if you know anything about me, I talk about? Choice and mindset. It's crazy, isn't it? Lesson. What you consume spiritually matters more than what you consume physically. Don't let small lies corrupt your faith. I'm going to read that again. What you consume spiritually matters more than what you consume physically. Don't let small lies corrupt your faith. It's powerful words, folks. Psalms 21 through 9. God answered you on the day you crash. The name of God of Jacob put you out of harm's reach. Send reinforcements from Holy Hill. Dispatch from Zion fresh supplies. Exclaim over your offerings. Celebrate your sacrifices. Give you what your heart desires. Accomplish your plans. When you win, we plan to raise the roof and lead the parade with your banners. May all your wishes come true. That clinches it. Help's coming and answers on the way. Everything's going to work out. So these people polish their chariots, and then those who others groom their horses. But we're making garland for the God of our gods. The chariots will rust, those horses will pull up lame, and we'll be on our feet, standing tall, making the King a winner, God. The day we call, give us your answer. So the breakdown of Psalms 29 said this is a battle prayer. May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. Confidence isn't in chariots or horses, it's in the name of the Lord. Real strength comes from dependence on God, not self reliance. When you trust Him, you can stand steadily while others fall. I don't have it here. I usually keep a remote close by, but there's so many things that we want to control with our remote control. And That's really, really sad that when we realize that we're not in control anymore, we basically throw it up and give it to God, that He's in control. Real strength comes from dependence on God and not self reliance. Stop trying to control things. Lastly, we got Proverbs 4:20 through 27. I got, dear friend, listen well to my words. Tune your ears to my voice. Keep my message to plain view at all times. Consecrate. Learn it by heart. Those who discover those words live, really live. Body and soul, they're bursting with health. Keep vigilant. Watch over your heart. That's where life starts. Don't talk out of both sides of your mouth. Avoid careless banter, white lies, and gossip. I'm going to read that again. Don't talk out of both sides of your mouth and careless banter, white lies, and gossip. Keep your eyes straight ahead, ignore all sideshow distractions, watch your step, and the road will stretch out smoothly before you. Look neither right nor left, leave evil in the dust. The breakdown of Proverbs 4:20 through 27 says, guard your heart and watch your mouth, fix your eyes forward. Stay on the path. This is disciplined language. God is saying focus determines direction, and direction determines destiny. Don't drift, walk intentionally. I'm going to read that again. Listen very closely. God is saying focus determines direction. What are you focusing on? And direction determines your destiny. Are you where you want to be today? I can promise you, if you're not, it's because you're not doing what God wants you to do. Focus determines direction, and direction determines destiny. Don't drift, walk intentionally. The bottom line says live with purpose, guard your heart, trust your over let God trust over your systems, and finish well. Have a better than good day. Joshua, thank you. Midday success. I know, brother, the only thing you can control is your actions and your attitude. Mindset and choice are everything, folks. You have a choice to make a decision. God gave you free will to make that decision every single day if you want to follow him or you don't want to follow him. It's either, what is he? Not there's not hot or cold. You can't stay on the fence. It's hot or cold. Which do you want to be? You want to be on fire for God or you want to be cold? It's that simple. Joshua, appreciate your dedication, man. Appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that's been following, subscribing, share this out to people because I know this isn't just for me. I've been learning a lot myself. And like I try to say, not maybe every day so it gets redundant, but I made it to about May last year. And it takes a lot of discipline to find the time, which is only about 20 minutes. If you're telling me you don't have 20 minutes to spend with God, how long does it take you to get to work? Turn this on and just spend a few minutes with him. Just listen to the Bible with me for just a few minutes. Like I said, it's not about the views. It's not about getting this out. It's not about having millions of people following. This is about me being disciplined and getting this done because I promised myself I was going to do it last year and I failed. I failed. Not doing it again. So are you on board or are you not? Appreciate you guys. I love you and we'll see you tomorrow.